will sea levels rise by 20 feet? To me, the scariest part of the film, when I saw it for the first time, was Al Gore's discussions of something called moulins. These are vertical water tunnels that form on the surface of ice sheets. And what Al Gore shows is that in the summertime in Greenland, the ice melts enough for large pools of water to collect, and then these sort of run into streams, and then the streams either find crevices in the ice and they bore down through the crevices, or they just make crevices, and the tunnels go all the way down to the bedrock and lubricate the ice sheet on the bedrock. And Al Gore says that this could destabilize the ice mass and actually cause it, half of it, say, to slide in the sea. And he has slide into the sea. He actually has a graph that he animates, and you see the ice sheet sort of split apart at the seams, if you will. Well, I went and actually found the Science article. It's in the journal Science by Zwally et al., 2002. Jay Zwally, he's a NASA scientist. And I read the study, and the study confirms some of what Al says. The study confirms that the moulins are lubricating the ice sheet on the bedrock, and this is accelerating glacial flow in Greenland, because glaciers, in case you don't remember, are not static entities. They're rivers of ice. They move, okay? So it's accelerating glacial flow, but by how much? Well, from about 31 centimeters a day in the winter all the way up to 40 centimeters a day in the summer, falling back down to about 30 centimeters a day in the fall. In other words, if you have a glacier on Greenland that is moving about 105 meters a year, the moulins add another 8 meters, somewhere between 5 and 8 meters to the flow. Okay, now how big a structure are we talking about? The Greenland ice sheet is about 2,000 kilometers long and about 1,000 kilometers wide at the widest. Okay, so adding an extra 5 to 8 meters of movement a year is so tiny that if it weren't for satellite sensing systems, we wouldn't even observe it. And here's just something I want to point out to you, which is that Greenland was actually warmer for most of the first half of the 20th century than it is in recent years. These are measurements from two weather stations in Greenland, and they show you that for decades before 1950, Greenland was warmer than it is today. The only exception was 2003. That was the warmest year in the record. But we have to assume that there were more moulins back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s than there are today, and more glacier acceleration. And yet our parents and grandparents, the greatest generation, somehow survived that crisis, and I think we will too. Okay, let's just consider now Al Gore's claim that we need to worry about 20 feet of sea level rise in light of what is known about the rate of ice loss, net rate of ice loss in Greenland today, and extrapolate that over the course of a century. It translates into about 1 1/3 inches. That's how much Greenland is contributing to sea level rise at the current rate over a century, okay? So we're really looking at apocalypse not, and yet Al Gore wants us to believe that 20 feet of sea level rise is something likely enough that we need to be worrying about it.